everybody. Welcome back to Seoul, Korea. This is the GSL Code A. That's right, brought to you by LG Cinema 3D and Intel, and of course G-Skill as well. Thanks for joining us. It's going to be a crazy day today. And you don't need me to tell that. All you need to do is actually look at the schedule on our website, and you will see that we've got Slayer's Boxer coming today.
I'm glad you got straight to the point, Doa, because
oh boy,
I think that's what everyone out there is probably thinking about. Slayer's Boxer, the man himself, the Emperor Im Yo-hwan, one of the most creative players ever, one of the most influential people in all of esports ever since the beginning of time. Back in prehistoric times, they were predicting the coming of the messiah of esports, Boxer, and writing cave paintings of it on the wall and such things.
That's right.
And he has finally come to us and brought StarCraft into the fore as an esport, and here we are today as a result. I'm very, very excited to be seeing him later.
All right,
we're going to see the results from, sorry about that, we're going to see the results from this week coming up in just a moment here.
And there they are on Monday. Who could forget MMA taking out Top Class 2-0? Pretty one-sided affair, and then after that, Hyperdub, another rather one-sided affair, taking down the next line. Then we had Slayer's Gonzi in a pretty close match against Incredible Miracles Nuts, but eventually losing, unfortunately. And then we had June going down to Startail Bomber in what was probably one of the most cheesy GSL series I have ever seen.
Indeed. That match was pretty cheesy. Now, we have today's matches here we're going to preview in just a moment. As we did mention, Boxer's coming up later. But first, we have LeenockfOu versus Creator. Leenock, a very long-time GSL participant, coming out here to face Creator, a sort of a new face in the scene. Revival versus Ryung. Ryung you might recognize from the Team League. Boxer is going to be facing MVP Avenge, another new face there, and TSL Alive is going to be facing off in a TVP in the finale of today's matches against Finale.
You warned me you were going to do that, and you did, but it was okay. It's so appropriate. I'm going to scoot my stool around a little bit. It's a little bit wobbly today. I kind of feel like I'm on an ocean.
Tasteless was mentioning that yesterday also.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he almost fell over.
It's okay. Hopefully,
but he is
I will not fall over.
so Gosu at sitting that he stayed in his chair despite massive technical difficulties.
Another one of his many skills.
Indeed.
That's right. You know, I got to say, as excited I am about casting Boxer, I'm actually very excited as well about casting our first match with Leenock, of course. I'm kind of a Leenock fan.
Yeah, no, I mean, on an emotional level, I'm very much looking forward to the Boxer match.
Right.
But I think all of the matches today are actually going to be really, really good matches.
They will.
A lot of really closely matched players.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be good games.
Well, the thing with Leenock, too, is that he has had some of the worst luck in GSL history.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy.
Oh, my gosh.
I don't know. He just keeps trying to get back into Code S, and then he gets matched up against, like, Nesty and Marine King in the same group.
Yeah,
almost, the up and down matches.
Almost as unlucky as Hyperdub, but,
yeah.
Well, he's had a more longer-term unluckiness.
I think so,
in any case, we are going to get underway here in just a moment. Let's go ahead and get to the game.
All right, here we go. In the red on the left side of GSL Dual Site, we have our Zerg player. Bad luck in GSL. One of the youngest players, one of the best decision makers.
LeenockfOu.
That's right. It is Leenock. We can talk all day about how much I like Leenock, but we'll see if he can play well. It's 8 p.m. already.
I hope the game lasts all day.
Oh, I don't know about
Okay,
that.
maybe not all day.
I hope it lasts as long as it takes to be exciting. Fantastic. And then after that it can end, and then we can move on to the next game. And then that'll be good.
Now he's going to be facing off against a newcomer here.
Yeah, we're going to get a shot of that guy in just a second.
In a moment.
But in the meantime, Leenock, he looks a little bit nervous, I got to say. But here's our blue Protoss. New kid on the block, if you will. Haven't seen a lot of games from this guy. He is.
CreatorPrime.WE.
He may be a new kid on the block, but he's still hanging tough here in the GSL Code A.
Right. Now,
I don't actually know if that was appropriate reference.
And look at
Did new kids on the block sing Hanging Tough?
I have no idea. I have to admit, I didn't listen to a lot of New Kids on the Block. I did listen to a lot of Crisscross, though. MC Hammer, a little bit of Vanilla Ice.
Good stuff. Yep. I was a Michael Jackson fan myself.
Well, Michael Jackson, quite good as well. I don't know. I've still got a poster of Crisscross in my office at home. I do.
That's awesome.
I admit it.
Now, this may be the matchup in all of GSL with the lowest combined age of the participants.
Yeah.
LeenockfOu is actually 16 years old by American count, 17 by Korean. And Creator Prime is 14 years old by foreign, counting standards, and 16 in Korea. They count your birthday on every January 1st. So if you're born on December 31st, after 2 days, you're 1 year old according to the Korean way of counting years. So
yeah,
that's how
a little bit different.
There's a 2-year difference in the times.
That's right. Yep. Age is a big thing in Korean culture too. The older person demands a lot more respect in terms of which words are used and things like that. Very interesting.
Now we should go back to the game here because we did have a quick pool, by the way, and
very quick.
We have Leenock putting a lot of pressure.
And the thing is with Leenock is that Creator doesn't really have much of a wall up yet. You can see he's moving some probes in there, trying to push those Zerglings away. Leenock trying to get in. My minimap is a little bit cut off on the left side, so I actually missed that. Whoops. We have an Overlord scoping things out as well.
I was too busy thinking about the 80s, and my humble apologies to everyone.
I know. I was getting totally crossed out. But Leenock still taking away the shields on that gateway. Now here's the tough position that the Protoss player is in, is that there's really not a lot you can do to stop that Zergling from eventually whittling down your buildings there. I mean, obviously if the Zelts move, then the Zerglings can stream in. That is not good. Probe's still kind of keeping an eye on things.
Yeah, I'm really a little worried for Leenock here, as a matter of fact, because in this situation, he's invested a lot into those Zerglings, and he's not really using them. The core gets up, so we're going to see a range unit coming out before too long. But it's actually the gateway that one Zergling has pecked it down to 350 health. He's going to fall back, though. So yeah, tons and tons of Zerglings.
Tiny opportunity to get in. But
and now he's actually producing more Zerglings at the moment. So he's going to have a ton of Lings on the map, and
2 gas already, too.
Whoa.
That's a bit surprising.
Whoa.
Leenock, I have seen him in ZVZ before go for very fast infestors. Now, obviously, this is ZVP, and a lot of Zerg players have been trying a lot of kind of new, a little bit crazy things. There's also the pylon that is natural that we can see, too. That's going to make him try to think about more, one-basing strategies, obviously, because his natural is going to be up so late. But I'm really curious to see what Leenock's going to do. I know he does like infestors. Dare I hope that we have one-base infestors?
Well, he just put down a second base, so a little unlikely on that. Although he could still cancel in favor of infestors. You never know.
That's true.
I'm still got to be really worried about Leenock here. Oh, getting to that ramp.
Whoa.
Zelts are going to push it back. A couple sentries behind as well. Warp Gate tech is almost finished.
So here's the thing, too, is that with what Leenock is doing, I mean, obviously he's way down on drones. He's only getting his hatchery up very late. Like you said, he's in a pretty tough situation right now. In the meantime, Creator Prime looks like he's just planning on possibly expanding. I believe he has 3 gates right now. That's right, those are 3 warp gates. So he's feeling pretty comfortable right now. Now, if there's anybody that can come back from a situation like that, it is Leenock. As I kind of mentioned earlier, he has some of the best decision-making of any Zerg player right now in the GSL, which is so surprising because of his age. I mean, despite what happens in this season, he's definitely going to be one of those players that we're going to see in later seasons be a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah,
there's a Roach Warren, though.
He has actually been in, I believe, every season of the GSL except for the first one. He's been involved in some way. Now, I kind of like the situation for Leenock a little bit because he has a lot of Lings here. Speed is about to complete in about 10 seconds or so, and then he's going to be able to keep Creator in his base for a while because he did invest in those early Lings, but he hasn't lost any really, maybe just 1 or 2 unnecessarily.
Yeah.
He's got a Roach Warren coming so he can keep up the pressure, and he's actually about even in income. In fact, since he got that new base, he's actually better in income because the Nexus hasn't completed yet. So he's actually doing okay despite falling pretty far behind with those Lings in the beginning. They did enough keeping Creator in his base that he was able to catch up.
Now, Leenock did cancel a second gas, too, so all that speculation was for nothing. Thanks a lot, Leenock. But he is getting it now. That's a little bit more normal timing for a second gas. I think he was kind of getting it just in case, but then he decided to cancel it. So we've got 3-gate Stargate coming out from Creator right now.
And Leenock actually just spotted it. I don't know. I'm not sure if we got the Overlord on screen.
I think that Overlord knows about the Void Rays.
That Overlord knows about the Void Rays. Yeah, for sure.
It's the last thing he'll ever know.
And this is not actually very good since Leenock was going for Roaches. In fact, he doesn't have any Roaches out yet, but he just got that Roach Warren.
How many Queens does he have? He has 2 Queens.
2 Queens, producing a 3rd, which is going to pop out before, just as the Void Ray gets here. There's a Phoenix alongside, though.
Yeah, he's starting a Spore Crawler, 2 Spore Crawlers actually for Leenock, but here comes the Phoenix. He's got enough Queens to chase it away, but if a few more Phoenixes are added on there, it's going to be very easy for Creator to take out those Queens. So I don't know, another tricky situation for Leenock. He's up to 3 now. Queens are really going to be the thing that saves him at this point in the game.
The thing that's going to definitely save him is the fact that he has 50 Harvesters at this moment.
Right.
Sorry, 48 at this moment. He must have built something. So he's actually got a really good economy going right now. He doesn't really need to worry about building drones at this point. He can sit on his 50 drones and just build units right now to survive.
That's right. And the other thing that Leenock can also kind of consider too is that if he just keeps producing Queens, he can get crazy creep spread. I mean, he can really, really cover the map. With the fact that he's going Hydras, that's something that you need. He's also getting Burrow as well as Roach speed too. So burrowed Roaches is something we've been seeing a lot of Zerg players try. I know that Moonglade was a player that really, really was in favor of actually getting burrowed movement first with the Roaches.
Yeah.
And then he would kind of take sort of an assault group of Roaches, if you will, burrow them under the force field, snipe sentries, kind of make him a suicide squad. But then once the sentry numbers are reduced, you can move in with the larger army, and the Protoss either has to spend a lot of gas replacing those sentries, or not get the sentries and then be much more susceptible to, you know, Hydra damage and things like that. So
yeah,
if he can take out a lot of the sentries, that's really the key to Zerg being able to go toe-to-toe with Protoss armies right now. But it is a very, very difficult matchup at the moment.
Yeah. Burrowed Roaches are definitely the big up-and-coming thing to do as Zerg versus Protoss, especially if they're going for that mass gate with the force fields and what have you. Hydras, pick off a Phoenix.
Nice snipe by Leenock there.
Nice snipe indeed. Now those Phoenixes has just been mostly running around the map, checking for extra hatches, checking for anything tricksy going on. They haven't been doing too much damage, as a matter of fact. I don't know if they've gotten any drones. They may have gotten a couple at some point.
There's been enough Queens. There's been spine crawlers, so
yes,
Leenock responded very appropriately
Yeah.
to seeing those Stargate units. So he's going to be just fine from that. The thing he really needs to worry about is the robotics units coming out right now, the Immortal. There's a lot of Stalkers on the way, and it looks like CreatorPrime is going to move out a little bit here. He might try to snipe off that third base, stopping by that funky-looking Xel'Naga tower there.
Wow, yeah, actually Creator coming in with a large army here, and Leenock, I'm not sure if he has enough to deal with it. Only a handful of Roaches and Hydras. He's relocated some defenses to this new base, which is Creator's target. He's going to set up a pylon right there, has a lot of sentries, and he can deal a lot of damage at this point, but there are 9 Roaches in production, as well as another 6 or 7 coming in, no, another 9 that just joined that force. So looks like Leenock is going to be okay, depending on how the micro goes in this battle.
Here comes CreatorPrime, though. I think he's going to attack. Force field splitting up the army of Leenock. Burrow is finished, but burrowed movement is not. He's going to try to micro those burrowed Roaches, kind of like Blink, but the force field's just keeping a lot of the units of Leenock from even participating in the fight. This is starting to look a little bit one-sided.
This is really bad. Leenock trying to get more Roaches out, but he does not have tunneling claws yet. 12 Roaches in production. He's going to have another round coming up. It's going to be his last chance to defend. He's going to have to pull drones at this point with those Roaches. Either that or just sack his third, but it looks like Creator is going for the kill, going into the natural expansion.
That's right. Leenock down a little bit on supply now. I believe it's 113 to about 100. So he didn't lose a whole lot. He was able to re-macro up his army pretty quickly, but this third base,
oh no,
I think it's going to be done for. Force fielding off the rest of the map, so Leenock can't bring any more units to save it.
Leenock is desperately trying to make more Roaches right now, but he just doesn't have the production for it. I mean, it's just hard to catch up. Creator killing off the third. The third is going to go down very, very soon. He's actually having to fall back. He finally realizes that that third is finished and falls back. Finally has burrow movement. He might be able to use that, but I really think that Leenock is going to have a hard time dealing with this army. He's so far behind right now. He's down 20 supply. This could be the last attack. Creator going in, picking off Roaches in the front, but they are dealing lots of damage to those front units. Not as many force fields this time. The Roaches are able to burrow and fall back to regroup barely. I think it's just going to be too much, though. Roaches falling left and right. We might see a GG.